Oh, hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Unlock Show. I'm your host, Tracy Wilson. My pleasure to be here with you guys today. What a amazing week it has been with some, God, I'm going to tell you, some massive highs and some, some really, really lows. I won't talk about the lows because this is a positive, upbeat show, and I want to make sure that we keep it that way. I want to start by telling you some of the cool things that have happened this week. After a year of working on a book called The She Myth, Vicky Helm and I, my partner in all of this, we wrote a book in 2020, and finally it has hit the market, and it hit the market this week with the ebook copy, and we are in full-on launch mode with that. And I am so proud to say that this week we actually hit the bestsellers list in Australia. So super excited about that. If you're wondering, today I've got some earphones in, or earbuds in, and I'm also streaming live right now inside of another social media platform called Clubhouse. So if you guys are on Clubhouse and you want to go and check me out on there, I'm actually streaming for the very first time on there. Thought I would give this a go. When I'm doing these live shows, I'm actually streaming out to about 7 different places simultaneously all at once. Clubhouse is a little bit different in the sense that it's audio only. So very first time for me on Clubhouse, but I thought I would let everybody kind of get a bit of a behind the scenes look at not even a look, they only get to listen, a behind the scenes listen into what I do to get myself ready for a show, the process that I take, the steps that I take to actually get it all set up. So anyway, let's kick this show off. I wanted to start this year's show. So we've already had one this on Tuesday, which was show number 1 for 2021. And this topic that I want to talk about today is really about how you can grow your business, or how I think the fastest way to grow your business is going to be in 2021. And for those of you that are in business right now, or that are starting out in business, what I'm about to share with you in this episode could literally really accelerate the how well you're going to be doing in business. So even if you are brand new, this show is for you, because if you've been watching me for a little while, you'll know that I've sort of mentioned this on a show previously, that the playing fields have been leveled. They have been like completely leveled. So in terms of, all of the big gurus that were able to get out there, that have spent years and years and years creating their own influence, their own authority, and growing mega businesses, well, that playing field has been leveled, and the opportunity now is also there for you. So you want to stay around, because what I'm going to share with you today is going to help you to understand how that's been leveled and what it is that you can actually do. So let's kick into this, because I'm in a pretty freaking good mood this week, given thank you, Sean and Larissa, for the congratulations on the book. Yeah, the launch is going really good. And if you hang about too, in the next couple of weeks, I'll share with you some things that we actually did that made our the good, the bad, the ugly, in terms of how our book launch actually went. So if you're also thinking about writing a book in 2021, you probably want to tune into some of the shows, because I'll share some of that stuff over the coming weeks. But today, I wanted to kick the year off, because I know that there are many of you out there, when a new year rolls around, we're always looking for, okay, setting with these big goals. Now, how can I get myself into a position to be really successful in 2021? And right now, you're probably thinking that. But the unfortunate thing is that kind of a quarter goes in, a quarter goes past in the year, and then all of a sudden, people sort of start to fall off the bandwagon. So some of the things that I want to share with you today is going to help you to stay on that horse, to stay consistent, and to stay doing the things that you need to be doing in 2021 to ensure that your business is going to be successful. And I'm sharing this stuff with you because it's the stuff that I have done. It's the stuff that I know works. It's the stuff that has worked for me. So anything I share on the show is not stuff that I just think is going to, is a great idea. It's actually things that I've done that have worked, and I'm now sharing them with you. Okay, so I want you to think about this for a moment. Have you ever thought to yourself, boy, there's some really successful people out there, and you've looked at them and you've thought, I know just as much as they know. I can do that. I have that knowledge. And in fact, sometimes you might have even thought, do you know what? I actually have more experience that they do. And then you've thought to yourself, well, now, why the heck is it that they are so damn successful and I'm still working my butt off trying to get ahead? Have you ever thought, have you ever felt like that? Have you ever kind of, and this often happens when we're scrolling through, Facebook, and you see big names come in, or even not so big names, but you see them being very, very successful, or your perception is that they are really successful. Has that ever been the case for you? If it has, I want you to type to me into the chat box. So as you guys are here with me live, you can actually write that, write to me and let me know that whether or not you've actually thought this. Do you think you've got a whole lot of experience that needs to be shared with a wider audience? And do you think you could actually use your experience to grow your business and grow it to a really solid, 6, possibly even 7 or 8 figure level? So I'm seeing some of this. If those stupid people can do it, then I can definitely do it. Yeah. And I mean, someone's typing to me at the moment saying, I'm looking at these people and I'm going, God, if those stupid people can do it, then far out, I should be able to do it. But have you ever then got that frustrated that, oh, they're doing it, they're stupid people, why can't I do it? And I know, I'm honest here, I've done that. Like in the past, I have certainly felt myself have done that in the past. And it gets you into that downward spiral of like, oh, why can't I do it? What's wrong with me? Et cetera, et cetera. Anyhow, the thing is, there's one major difference between all those people and you. And it's just, in my opinion, one simple thing. And when you understand and you learn what this simple thing is, you can do it too. So let's think about, what is that one friggin' thing? Because if it's just one thing, Trace, tell me what it is so that I can actually be doing it. Here's what I think the one thing is. It's about visibility. So the difference between the people that are really, really successful or the ones that you are seeing that are having a lot of success, a lot of that comes down to this one thing, and it's them being visible, right? So in my program, I've got a program called Influence and Authority. We talk about this a lot, and we talk about how you can become visible, how you actually gain the confidence and gain, all the things that you need to do to be visible. Now let's talk a little bit further about this. So if you think about, can you be visible? Is that possible and is that doable for you? Well, the answer is yes, of course it is. So, all of a sudden, like I said, that playing field is completely obliterated because the playing field is now leveled for you and for them. Why? Because if they can be visible and you can be visible, then why can you not be just as successful as they can be? The answer is you can. Okay, so the lesson number one is visibility. Now, how do you get that visibility? Well, visibility then comes down to you doing something that we call publishing. So if you are in business, particularly if you are utilizing the online world, the online space to create your visibility, which you should be doing because it's the fastest way to get visibility out there, is to publish. And when you're publishing, when we think about publishing, there's a number of different ways that you can do it. And I'm going to get to the one that I think is the epitome of all of them, is the one that kind of is that massive big domino that knocks them all down. So there are some ways that you can do this. And as you heard me when I did the introduction of this, you heard that we wrote a book. Is writing a book, do I think that's the number one thing that you need to do to create visibility? No, it's not. It's part of the puzzle, but it's not the number one thing that I think you could do. So publishing, you could write. Okay, so that means you could do a blog, you could write a book, you could be posting like crazy. Some people I've heard give advice that, you need to be on Facebook, at least 5 or 6 times a day doing a post. I mean, you absolutely could do that. You could be posting regularly on lots of different platforms. You could be doing those 5 posts on all of your social media platforms. YouTube, you could be creating a video on YouTube. You could be doing Instagram posts, Facebook posts, posting in LinkedIn, all of them, if you were to do them 5 times a day, all of a sudden, and you're posting across multiple different platforms, your entire flaming day is going to be consumed by posting on all of these different platforms, hoping that somebody is going to see it. So all of a sudden you've got to post, you've got to create 25 to 30 different posts. What if there were one thing that could just come in and wipe all of them out, that you would be able to do in a very short space of time, that would enable you to do all of what I've just said, which is create your posts on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and so on and so forth, and also create your YouTube channel at the same time, as well as then being able to create a podcast. How interested would you be in something like that? Like how amazing would it be if you were able to do that in a really short space of time? The thing that I think makes the biggest difference is what you're seeing happen right now, which is creating your own show by using the power of video, using live streaming and video to get your message out there. So when you do that, what happens is you're then able to create connection directly with your audience, with you guys that I'm speaking to right now. You are able to create something that some people can come back to time and time again because you've got it at a regular time. And then also you can then take that piece of content and you can start cutting it up and creating multiple pieces of content without having to do that all manually when you create yourself a system. So do I think this is the fastest way to grow your business in 2021? Hands down, absolutely. Because as you see, and you think about this, if you've thought about the people that you've seen online and you've thought to yourself, as somebody said, oh my God, if those stupid people can do it, then I definitely can. How did you see those, air quotes, stupid people? How did you see them? You probably saw them online doing something. And in most cases, you saw them doing you're doing video. And I'm hoping, now that I've thought about that, I'm hoping that person doesn't think I'm watching Tracy Wilson, that stupid person, do that. And if she can do it, then I can do it. So anyway, but the answer is yes. Do you have to be an absolute genius to do this? Oh, heck no. You just have you've got your offer. Okay. So there's some fundamental things here that we also teach. So you create your offer. You then create the messaging that is going to resonate and going to grab your audience. And then you create your anchor platform. You start to speak, you start to write about what it is that you're going to be doing, etc., etc. As you do that, what actually happens? Thanks, Sean. You're not the stupid one. He says, thank goodness for that. So, the key to this is as you're doing it, you're doing what we call creating the ACE method. And if you think about what it is that you actually need to create momentum in your business. Yeah, I know that made me giggle too. As I read, I'm like, hope he doesn't think that's me. So as you're doing that, you're creating some momentum in your business. Funny thing happens as you talk more and more about it, more and more about your expertise, your area of expertise, you cement that. The best way to be able to increase your confidence and your competence is to actually teach what you know. When you do that, it's actually going to raise your authority, right? Because people are going to start to see that person knows what the heck they're talking about. They're good at what they do. They know their subject matter. They become a subject matter expert. They become known and seen in their industry. They become sought after in their industry. So if you think about this ACE method that I'm talking about, so the A is building authority. The way in which you build authority is through being seen, is through being heard, is through being, somebody who shares their knowledge, who has got knowledge and skills that you're willing to share with others. When you do that, your authority starts to rise. And just think about this. When you share your knowledge, so when you're listening to somebody else who is sharing their expertise and their knowledge and you like it, do you start to see them as an authority? Would you happen to follow somebody who you thought, man, they don't know as much as I do. Man, they don't know their stuff. That you wouldn't. So the way in which you're going to increase your authority is by sharing what you know. The next piece of the puzzle is the C. right? So it's building connection. So when you get to understand what it is that your audience wants to hear about, and so the Unlock Show this year is going to be all about getting people to unlock the knowledge and the skills and the information they have inside of them to share that with a much wider audience. I believe that that is the way that we're going to make change in this world. I believe that people are out there wanting to hear from you, the expert, in so that they can improve their lives. So if you've got information that can be shared, then you can absolutely share that and start to, week by week, show by show, information by piece of information, increase your level of authority. And at the same time, you are building a connection with your audience. The third piece in that puzzle, the ACE method, is exposure. All right. So that's the visibility piece. Is it actually getting out there and making sure that you're getting exposure? Fastest and easiest way to get the exposure is through, in my opinion, is to do video, and also simultaneously, so that you're not having to spend all your time and all your hours every day trying to get your message out. This is a great way of doing it. Now, think about this. If you were somebody who had connection and exposure, but you weren't somebody that was seen as an authority, do you think that would have the ability to grow your business? The answer is probably not. Like, this is why these three things go hand in hand. And when you can combine all of them together, then you're going to get a really solid way of being able to increase your business. So think about, if you've got those three things and you don't have one of them, can you actually grow your business? So you've got authority and you've got exposure, but you're not connecting with your audience. Are you going to be able to grow your business that way? Probably not, because you won't be connecting with the right audience. And likewise, if you take one of those other things out of the equation. So anyway, so today I wanted to talk about, that's how I think the fastest way to growing your business in 2021 is to build your authority, build your influence, and then create a system where you can consistently create your authority by creating connection and creating exposure. Now, if you want to know all the other components of how to do this, because that's just one section of what needs to happen, then all the other pieces of how do I actually build a message? How do I create a message that connects with my offer? Because the part of this puzzle that is probably the most difficult is connecting the messaging. So the ACE method, so creating your authority, creating the connection and the exposure around your offer, your product, and your service. When you can get all of those aligned, then you're going to create a really nice pathway for people to want to start working with you. So like I said today, guys, I'm also streaming this live right now. And I can see I've got a couple of people in the room on Clubhouse. It's my very first time giving it a go in Clubhouse at the same time. So it's a bit of a test today to see if I could actually do this and whether or not it would actually work, giving them a bit of a behind the scenes on what actually happens. So go check me out on Clubhouse too, because I'll probably do some impromptu rooms on there and share more about this, about how the ACE method actually works. And if you wanted to take this further and you want to learn more about how you can create connection with authority, with exposure, that then helps you to grow your business fast, then I would highly recommend you head on over to the influenceandauthority.com and check out the program that we've got there. We have a few spots available right now, and you guys can come over and have a look. Somebody's asking me, what's my handle in Clubhouse? So Tracy M. Wilson is my Clubhouse handle, so go check me out on there. Pretty new in that space, so I'm just trying to figure out how all of that works and how we can, connect the show like this so that I can stream it live inside of Clubhouse at exactly the same time. So that is today's show, guys. Today is the day that you need to, that I would highly recommend to you. You don't need to do it. It's entirely up to you whether or not you want to do it. But if you are wanting to create yourself, authority and build influence in 2021, then continue to listen to the Unlock Show. I'll share more secrets about how to do that. As time goes on, I will give you some very practical ways of being able to do it. But the fast track method is to join our program, and we actually handhold people through that process. We've got about another I think there's about 8 people that will be going live with their shows over the coming month. So we are very, very excited about that. And we would love to be able to work with you guys and show you how you can create your own show that has connection, that builds your authority and influence, and that enables you to have great exposure. So go and check that out, and let's see you on the inside of there. And I'd love to work with you. Vicky and I would love to work with you even, more closely. So thank you for watching today's show. Like I said, it's been a super, super exciting week with the book launch and all. And, we've got some really cool stuff. This last year, I'll give, before we head out, because I can, I'll share with you guys some other stuff that kind of went on last year. It was a massive, massive year, 2020, where we just had our head down, bum up. We created a Metadime Digital, as you guys know, if you've been following for a while, which we've basically created a media company where we actually help people create their own shows on the regular. We produce them, we help them create everything that they need, and we actually teach that whole process inside of that influence and authority program. But as well as that, we've also got multiple different partnerships set up with different products and services coming out, like literally right now. So this week, so excited because the book came out. It hit the number one it's a number one bestseller in new releases in Australia. And then we also had another product that we had created that landed on the doorstep in America, on Vicky and Robin's doorstep. And we will be revealing what that is in the coming weeks. So it's been a super exciting week with lots of really cool stuff. And, in my world, there's been a few lows too, but, I won't be a Debbie Downer and put them on you right now. I will share them in another show and show you and kind of share with you how you maintain balance and positivity, even when some really, low stuff is going on too. But anyway, I wanted to say thank you very much, you guys, for joining me. Thanks very much, guys. If you're also joining me on, see, I've got my phone here. Check it out with, Angela Scott's with me right now inside of Clubhouse, and hopefully over time, when I get better and better at this, there might be a few more people that actually join me on Clubhouse too. So for now, guys, I'm going to wish you guys a fantastic weekend, and I'll be back again next Tuesday with another episode of The Unlock Show. I have a guest with me, Wednesday. Tuesday if you're in America. So Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Brisbane time. I'll be back again next Wednesday with a guest, and then again on Fridays, and my very brand new show, which is going to be coming out next Thursday. The first episode of that will be streaming live inside of the Success Secrets for Business, Family and Life group, and it is called Take a Stand. It is specifically for women and helping women take a stand in 2020 and help them grow their business and really come out of their shells and be the woman that they want to be. So I'm going to be sharing some really cool secrets, have some amazing guests coming up with me on that show. And we're going to be starting to change the world just one show at a time. So if you want to do that too, you know where to go. You head on over to influenceandauthority.com. All right, guys, have a fantastic week, and bye for now. See ya.